The Simi Valley fire has burned 13,000 acres and is not contained. We show you how Simi Valley has been affected.
The Simi Valley fire is threatening about 7,000 homes. We bring you the stories of the evacuees.
And a child development center at our health science campus may be putting kids' safety in danger. Our Trevor Sochocki investigates.
Annenberg TV News is next.
Live from USC, you're watching Annenberg TV News.
When the fire comes, just listen to the firefighters, listen to the sheriff, get out of its way. Don't go running into the fire. Evacuate, get your belongings, and treat it as a threat.
Thousands of people have been evacuated in Simi Valley. Good evening, I'm Kellie Miller.
And I'm Cecil Hannibal. The Santa Ana winds have reached 70 miles per hour. Annenberg Media's Jamia Pugh brings us to the front lines of the fire.
The Simi Valley Easy Fire hit Ventura County early this morning, sparking close to the Ronald Reagan Presidential Library. First responders continue to attack the flames that are forcing thousands of people out of their homes. In one neighborhood, a student and a retired police officer were getting ready to leave.
My wife tried getting back in from work, they won't let her in. My daughter lives down there, she can't get in to help. I've got 2 dogs, my daughter's wedding dress, my wife's dresses for the wedding, so those are the first things I'm gonna have to pack. So I got everything ready in the garage. Truck is backed up because, like I said, I'm used to them, but I know what they can do.
Here, and I was on my way to Moore Park College to go to class, and freeway was shut down, and we kind of got stuck here. So I had my camera and my boots, so we just went out hiking around, taking pictures of the firefighters fighting the fire.
Here in the Simi Valley, where the Easy Fire broke out this morning, as you can see, there's some smoke behind me and debris and strong winds from the fire. We talked to firefighters who say they are continuously trying to contain the fire and get it in a controllable state.
Unfortunately for us, the winds are going to continue for probably the next 24 hours, so we're going to be in a position where we still need to actively engage in the fire.
The map here indicates high fire risk areas. The bigger red circles show areas with stronger winds. The Santa Ana winds reaching a high of 70 miles per hour caused the first ever extreme red flag warning for LA and Ventura counties. Fire departments say residents may experience poor air quality resulting from the Easy Fire. For Annenberg Media, I'm Jamia Pugh.
Thank you, Jamia. Ventura County officials say about 800 firefighters are fighting the flames in Simi Valley. Annenberg Media's Evan Falstrup is there live. Evan?
I'm here at the Ronald Reagan Presidential Library, where the Easy Fire has been scorching Simi Valley behind us. And just off to your left, where President Ronald Reagan and Nancy Reagan lay at rest. Firefighters have been spending all day bringing in airdrops of fire retardant and water, just trying to contain this thing. Southwest winds have been gusting in, and it's been extremely relentless. So, as you can see behind me, this is the fire that has been scorching all day. It continues to go, and firefighters have been working all morning to contain this. This morning around 6 a.m., the fire broke out, scorching the hillside and moving quickly towards the historic library. Firefighters, they were able to stop and protect this vicinity, except the brush fire has already threatened over 6,500 homes, prompting evacuations and school shutdowns. Officials say it has already burned over 1,400 acres. Now, as you can see, the fire is still being fueled by strong southwest gusts of wind, which keeps containment at only around 5%. That's all we have for you now. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thank you, Evan. The Simi Valley fire is also affecting students on campus. We spoke with a USC grad student whose home is under evacuation warning. She says right now she's prepared for anything to happen.
Right now the plan is just, I've got a bag in my car, I've got clothes with my computer and all the essentials and pictures and stuff, just to make sure that I'm cool if I do need to evacuate. But yeah, right now the plan's just to stay with family.
This morning, Catherine Lippert took this photo near Moore Park as she left Simi Valley to head back to USC. You can see what appears to be large clouds of smoke in the distance. Right now, she's waiting to find out when she can go back home.
Some residents who had to evacuate because of the Getty fire are still in shelters and not sure when they will return home.
That you have to evacuate, which is very difficult to do that because you don't know what to take. I mean, you can take, but a very small amount of things that you can think of, and if you start thinking about the other things you left, it's quite a bit.
Firefighters worry about having enough resources to fight all of the fires.
This fire is kind of, it seems to be we've got a good handle on it, and so we're starting to release teams to go to fight the other fires. But that being said, this fire could spark back up in any second, and we could be stretched really thin. So just the resource management is crucial.
The Palisades Recreation Center now has 15 evacuees, but with high winds predicted for today and tomorrow, that could change.
And the National Weather Service issued a rare extreme red flag warning for the Los Angeles area last night. The last time there was a warning this serious was all the way back in 2007. Wind gusts are expected to be between 50 and 70 miles per hour in parts of Los Angeles and Ventura County. Gusts up to 80 miles per hour are expected in the Los Angeles County mountains and the western portion of Santa Monica. These conditions can lead to dangerous flare-ups in existing fires.
This is not a different type of warning than a red flag warning, but we wanted to highlight the fact that this is more severe than our typical red flag warning. The dry air to last for a few days, the winds to continue for a long period of time. In addition, we also have existing fires, so this makes fire spread very risky. People need to know that they need to be evacuating areas if they're told to evacuate.
Under these severe conditions, Los Angeles residents are advised to clear brush and debris, keep gutters cleaned, and make sure there's an accessible road for evacuation. Tomorrow, the House will vote a Democrat proposal on the impeachment inquiry.
Our political correspondent Nathan Hyun has more on the Republican reaction.
That's right, guys. The Republicans are not impressed with the Democratic proposal for public hearings. Democrats say the process is open and fair to everyone. The Republicans say it is anything but.
Yesterday, House Democrats released their much-hyped resolution, which was advertised as bringing fairness and due process into Speaker Pelosi and Chairman Schiff's closed-door partisan inquiry. Unfortunately, the draft resolution that has been released does nothing of the sort.
Political expert Robert Shrum says the facts are against the Republicans, and he has a prediction for how the Republicans will react.
I think the vote will pass tomorrow. I think there will be public hearings. I think Republicans will continue to scream about it. As I said earlier, it's the old adage, if the facts are all against you, pound the table about procedure.
Democrats leading the impeachment investigation have summoned former National Security Advisor John Bolton to testify. He resigned from the White House in September before the impeachment inquiry. Other witnesses have testified that Bolton was unhappy with how the administration was handling relations with Ukraine. Now over to you, Cecil.
Thanks, Nathan. For the first time, members of Congress voted to recognize the deaths of 1.5 million Armenians in 1915 as a genocide.
I think it's a really big step for the Armenian community. I think it's as far as the bill has ever gone. They've tried to pass resolutions like this in the past, and either they didn't pass the House or they just couldn't even get to the floor because there was so much resistance from Turkey and from politicians that didn't want to anger Turkey. So I think this is a really great step because every year the Armenian community marches for justice, and basically that justice is that the genocide be recognized. So this is a great first step. It's not done by any means yet, but I'm really happy that this passed.
Turkey released this statement, quote, "We reject the resolution which is devoid of any historical or legal basis and is meaningless." A political step, undoubtedly. This brings the dignity of the U.S. House of Representatives into disrepute. The 405-11 vote comes weeks after President Trump's widely criticized decision to pull troops out of Syria, allowing Turkey to move in.
The 12th parent was sentenced today in the Varsity Blues college admission scandal. Jeffrey Bizak will spend 2 months in prison. He paid $250,000 to try to get his son into USC as a fake volleyball recruit. In addition to 2 months in prison, Bizak will have to pay a $250,000 fine. He will remain on supervised release for 3 years after leaving prison, and he'll have to perform 300 hours of community service. His son did get into USC, but authorities say he did not know his father made illegal payments to make that happen. Bizak's attorney says he is remorseful, feels ashamed, and accepts his punishment. 28 other parents have pled guilty in the Varsity Blues scandal.
New apartments will house the homeless, disabled, and low-income people of South LA. We talked to the leader of the housing project.
And our Trevor Sochocki details how some parents say USC's Health Science campus has an unsafe child development center.
Encuentra el bosque más cercano en descubreelbosque.org. El bosque, más cerca de lo que crees.
They call me Prince like I'm royalty or something. But the places I've lived ain't no palaces. So I don't need grilled salmon or a new scratching post. Just give me a cardboard box and a can of tuna and we're good. You can even change my name. I'm cool being the kitty formerly known as Prince.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere will bring us wireless emergency alerts. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know, wherever you are.
Hey, Kevin, you thinking about retirement?
I'd love to, but I'm pretty busy with all this.
Yeah. Hey, let's meet our retirement coach, Avo. A is for taking action.
Not anxiety?
No, Kevin, you're gonna be fine.
You sing?
Barely. V is for variety.
And you dance?
Sort of. Come on. O is for optimize your savings.
Let Avo lead the way.
Visit aceyourretirement.org today.
Nice.
Thanks.
Parents at the Health Sciences campus worry about their kids' safety every day when dropping them off and picking them up. Annenberg Media's Trevor Sochocki is here with the story.
Thanks, Cecil. The parents I spoke to expect USC to provide some safety for their kids around a daycare center, but they say that isn't happening. Cars speeding in and out, construction trucks next to minivans, and crumpled traffic poles, all next to a daycare center. This is what Christine and Patrick Crispin try to navigate with their 3.5-year-old son, Joseph.
Straight killing me, Larry.
Every day, they drop Joseph off at the Alcazar Child Development Center at the USC Health Sciences campus. And every day, they fear for his safety.
I was getting Joseph out of the car, and the cars were flying down. I couldn't cross, even if I wanted to walk down to go out the other way, I wouldn't have been safe. I didn't move him away from the corner of the car, because there was probably 10 or 15 cars just hauling in and calling through. And I'm just like, this is nuts.
The Crispins believe the drop-off and pickup areas at the center are unsafe for children. And they aren't alone.
I would basically be walking them through this dark parking structure, and I would see a number of cars sort of drive fast by us.
The cost of a misstep is just too great.
The area for curb drop-off can only fit about 8 cars, and that's if nothing else is in the way. So if parents can't park there at the curb, they have to go into this garage right across the street. Now the garage has 2 exits. The front one, right near the sidewalk, rarely has spots close to it. The back exit, right here, goes right into the street. USC Transportation has told parents the back exit is an emergency exit only, and everyone should exit through the front. But there are no speed bumps in the garage, and some cars speed through.
It's not communicated in any way to somebody pulling into that structure as a visitor, a new student, that children are going to be walking around there.
When our cameras were there, many parents walked down the street carrying their child instead of walking in the garage. They brought their concerns to 3 official meetings with USC and the daycare center contractor Bright Horizons beginning about 6 months ago. After the last of the 3 meetings in August, USC stopped showing up.
It was clear that, that the actual desires of the parents who are using these child development centers aren't seen as like a strategic priority for the university, even though they are.
Although USC added speed bumps and traffic poles to the drop-off area in the summer, it has not changed the parking structure. USC Transportation says it's taking action.
We've heard the speeding concern before, and we're taking steps to mitigate that. We received a bid earlier this calendar year to put speed bumps in the structure, not just 1 or 2, but actually I think it's 7 or 8.
Donovan said parents can expect speed bumps in the garage before the end of the year. But in the meantime, traffic in the area isn't going away.
I really think that if a child were hurt because of this, I would probably pull them out and have to find it. Because if it can happen to any child, then it can happen to my child.
The Crispins don't want it to take a tragedy for USC to hurry up. Now, Cecil and Kellie, Donovan told me that transportation is building another lot at the Health Sciences campus. This one, however, will be constructed with speed bumps. Back to you.
Today, developers, architects, and contractors came together to celebrate the groundbreaking of a new affordable housing complex in South LA. Firestone Phoenix Apartments will shelter those who are homeless. Several groups of financial supporters such as Bank of America and the City of Pasadena have sponsored the construction once finished. 20 housing units will be provided for homeless veterans and 7 apartments will be reserved for low-income families.
What's unique a little bit about Firestone Phoenix is the fact that a component of it will serve veterans. It's just been a wonderful opportunity to celebrate with everyone who worked so hard to bring this project to fruition. Once we open, what we plan to do is to put people into these apartment buildings and provide the services that they need to stay stable in housing. Our goal is to make sure that people have what they need so that they can live here for a long time and not end up back on the streets.
The goal for this new housing complex is to find permanent homes for those living on the streets.
You know, Kellie, I think it's time we check in with this week's forecast.
I'm ready.
Let's check in with Ari Taylor to find out what's going on with the weather.
Thanks, Steve. So, y'all, spooky season is coming to a close, but, guys, for the bop of the day, the vibe of the day, you might as well just take a little listen to the Halloween Town theme song to get in the mood for tomorrow's festivities. But as for today's weather, it's 76 degrees. It's nice. So looking at tomorrow, will it or will it not be sweater season? Let me fill you in now. It's time to break out those sweaters. It's time to go into Bay's closet, get all those hoodies, because we're finally dipping into the 70s. San Bernardino, Riverside, 78 degrees. Palm Springs is 78 degrees. Taking it all the way to the coast, it's still cool over there as well. We're still in the 70s. Malibu is 77 degrees, 76 degrees in Thousand Oaks, and bringing it all the way back home where we all love and know that it's gonna still be a little warmer. 80 degrees at USC, and in our flights and not feelings forecast, 79 degrees at LAX. So looking forward in our 5-day forecast, if you're wondering what you should be wearing for Halloween this weekend, it's gonna still be nice so you can wear whatever you want. So that's all for today's weather. Back to you, Cecil and Kellie.
Thanks, Ari. And so tomorrow is Halloween. We have a story for that. As students prepare for Halloween, DPS is doing the same, preparing a fully staffed unit for what they refer to as Halloween business as usual.
I think it's going to be business as usual for DPS in terms of Halloween. Halloween is a popular night for partying, and we know students are going to want to dress up and celebrate. We just hope that students celebrate smartly. The ordinance in place for the city of Los Angeles, which is a loud noise, loud gathering ordinance, will be enforced if we receive complaints.
DPS will only shut down parties that are occurring on the row without prior registration or if noise complaints are received. No parties are currently registered to take place on the row tomorrow night.
I think they're definitely going to be more vigilant and I guess patrol more. Be smart about how you go out, always have a sober friend to watch over you. Don't go to sketchy places. I think people know that security is.
And students should remain aware of their surroundings and make smart decisions when attending parties. They should also be mindful of the community because kids will be trick-or-treating on the row from 4 to 6 p.m. Cecil, what are you dressing up as tomorrow?
I'm not dressing up as anyone, but I'm definitely selling some candy.
Of course, of course.
It's all good. Same.
And let's check in with our USC sports. What's going on this weekend?
A lot's going on this weekend, Cecil. USC has its biggest game of the season this weekend. We'll talk about number 7 Oregon and tell you why the Trojans might have a chance to pull off the upset. We'll also break down the quarterback matchup, showing you just how close Keaton Slovis is to an NFL caliber player. And it's the 2 best words in all of sports. Game 7 of the World Series is going on right now. We'll have a live update coming up soon.
Hi, I'm Smokey Cole Bear, filling in because for 75 years, Smokey only said,
"Only you can prevent wildfires."
Meanwhile, the song was wrong. We did start the fire. Go to SmokeyBear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
1 in 3 adults has pre-diabetes. That means it could be you, your favorite brother, your other brother, you, your football buddy, your football buddy, you, your plumber,
Breathe right into your foot.
your plumber's masseuse,
Yes.
you, your dog walker, your cat jogger. With early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Hey, let's check out this park. Oh, wow, that's really cool. To find a great local park or forest near you, go to discovertheforest.org.
Roll over. Chance high five. All right. When you adopt a shelter pet, you discover all the things that make them unique. And your mother and... I am totally a hot person. Right, guys? Thanks for being honest. They're a little bit of a lot of things, but they're all pure love. Adopt pure love at theshelterpetproject.org.
Welcome back to ATVN. It's week 10 of the college football season, but it might as well be the Super Bowl for USC and number 7 Oregon. A USC win would eliminate the Ducks from the college football playoff picture, but if the Ducks win, the Trojans will no longer control their own destiny in the Pac-12 South. Over the past 3 years, USC has struggled against top 10 teams, losing 4 of the past 5 times, as you can see. That's a 20% win percentage, which is math I totally just did on the spot. However, USC did beat number 10 Utah this season in one of the gutsiest wins of Clay Helton's tenure, so don't count the Trojans out just yet. Clay, how important is this game beyond the field?
When you win Rose Bowls and you win Pac-12 titles, those are when you sign great players. If you look at all these great freshmen and sophomores that are playing right now, it just happens. It's not coincidence that they got signed right after that Rose Bowl year, right after that Pac-12 title year. So, yeah, obviously, each and every game is important.
It's a huge game for recruiting as Oregon continues to win the battle for talent in California. 8 of their 11 defensive starters are from the Golden State. That unit started off strong but has given up 33 points per game the last 2 weeks, and USC will try to capitalize on a defense that's given up 6 passing touchdowns in each of the past 2 games. Last week, Washington State's Anthony Gordon threw for 406 yards against the Ducks, numbers we know Kedon Slovis can match. It's also Parents Weekend here at USC, and while your parents are playing some pong, the Pittmans are going to be a little more preoccupied. That's because they'll have 2 sons on the field. Michael Jr., USC's leading receiver, and the other one, Micah, a freshman wide receiver at Oregon, as if there wasn't enough on the line Saturday. Michael told Michael this week that if the Ducks win, he gets to assume the role of big brother from now on. I can only imagine the number of wet willies just to make up for lost time. The two haven't shared the field since they were high school teammates at Calabasas. Here are their stats on the season side by side. Micah has a little bit of work to do to catch up to Big Bro. To be fair, he did miss the first 4 games with a shoulder injury. Since coming back, he's averaged 15 yards per catch, and 6 of his 10 receptions have gone for first downs. And Michael, yeah, he's pretty good at football. We already knew that. It seems like Michael has the edge for now in the sibling rivalry. The last time USC faced a top 10 team, he went off for a career-high 232 yards against Utah, but it'll be a fun matchup to watch the next time we see these two brothers face each other, maybe on Sundays. Over to you, Noah.
Yeah, Trevor, the Pittmen should be a fun battle to watch, but I got another head-to-head matchup to look out for, and that's true freshman quarterback Kedon Slovis up against one of the most coveted prospects in this year's draft, Oregon quarterback Justin Herbert. And when you take a look at raw numbers such as touchdowns, yards, interceptions, Herbert obviously has the upper hand, and with his team sitting at 7-1, it's easy to write Kedon off. If you take a more in-depth look, Slovis actually has a higher completion percentage, more yards per attempt, and a higher passer rating than Herbert. And when the fourth quarter rolls around, Kedon is at his best. Here's what he had to say about his fourth quarter success.
You know, you see the defense for 3 quarters, so by that time you should be pretty familiar with what they do. If I were to play my defense, I'd hope I'd play my best football because I see them every day in practice, you know. So I think it's just a matter of familiarity.
In 6 fourth quarters this year, Kedon Slovis has 450 yards, 5 touchdowns, and is almost completing 78% of his passes. And last week, Slovis led a huge fourth quarter comeback on the road to beat Colorado. Slovis will need to channel that success for not just the fourth quarter, but the entire game if he wants to lead the Trojans to a program-altering win over number 7 Oregon in by far the biggest game of his young career. And speaking of big games, sports fans are blessed tonight. The 2 best words in sports, a Game 7 to decide the 2019 World Series champion. Trevor, it's been a crazy series between the Nationals and the Astros. Home field advantage has been non-existent. It's
Throw it out the window.
Out the window. The first World Series ever where a home team failed to win the first 6 games. So tonight we have Scherzer, we have Greinke. Who do you have winning the World Series?
Great matchup, Noah, but I'm going to go with the convention in this series, and that's that the road team has won all 6 games. I'm not going to buck that trend. I think Washington, I like the underdog story. No one expected them coming into the season, especially losing Bryce Harper. I think they close it out. The pitching staff is just a little too strong for the Astros, and I think they win this game, win the World Series.
Yeah, I'm actually going to go right with you.
We agree on something for once.
Finally
the first time ever.
The first time we agree. I like Scherzer in a big game. I think he's going to have what it takes. I like the young bats, Soto. I like Trey Turner. Anthony Rendon should have a big game, but do watch out. George Springer, Jose Altuve. These are some big bats.
Dangerous lineup.
So it should
Dangerous lineup in Houston.
It should definitely be a good game. And the game started about 50 minutes ago. So let's take a live look at the game. The Astros have opened a 1-0 lead off of a home run by Uriel Gurriel.
And that wraps up sports. Back to you guys at the desk.
I've changed my mind. I know what I'm going to be for Halloween.
What? Tell me.
Oregon's defense, because USC should be very scared. That's what it is. That's what it is. Hey, I got the jokes. Halloween is not the only holiday coming up. Dia de los Muertos is tomorrow.
We take you to the Dia de los Muertos celebrations on campus.
Meet the scan, a simple procedure whose mission is to detect lung cancer early.
I'm here to save you.
But I feel fine.
That's great, but you may still be at high risk for lung cancer.
Oh man, that's a new fence.
If you smoke, early detection could save your life. Learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Being prepared is a part of who you are. But it's especially important in the case of a disaster. Be informed about possible emergencies in your area. Make a plan that covers where you'll go in an emergency. Build a kit with the things you need to survive. There's no one more capable of planning for your situation than you. Start your plan today. Go to ready.gov/myplan.
When you adopt a shelter pet, you discover their unique mix of all kinds of traits.
Where'd Wiley go? Where's Wiley? Ah, there she is. Paw?
Do you remember being an ancient wolf? Do you ever feel the call of the wild?
You're a renegade cop, and I'm a con woman with nothing to prove. But together, we could really solve this murder.
They're a little bit of a lot of things, but all of them are pure love.
Several organizations on campus have teamed up to celebrate Dia de los Muertos, also known as Day of the Dead, in the Levy Library. Levy Library was surrounded by skulls and books about the holiday. Rather than mourning death, this holiday celebrates it. Students and faculty say the on-campus celebration shows inclusivity of the Latinx community. Thanks for watching Annenberg TV News. From everyone here at Annenberg Media, I'm Cecil Hannibal.
And I'm Kellie Miller. You can watch us on the web at uscannenbergmedia.com. Good night.
Good night.